So it's been awake since about 20 past 3. I think it's about like 4 o'clock now or something. So decided to get up and get this stuff packed away, get a coffee on, and walk to Gibraltar Point and see if I can see the sun come up. Yeah, obviously not the best night's sleep, but and clearly needs to be improved a lot. If I'm doing 20 miles a day, can't have just a couple hours sleep every night, but maybe I can have a bit of a power nap somewhere this afternoon. But there doesn't look to be a lot on the way either, so not massively concerned, but need to charge the battery pack up, otherwise I'm going to be without power this evening. So that's another thing, probably just to get another battery pack. So yeah, but I've survived the wild camping on the outside of Skeggy, so let's get this lot packed up and get on with today. Start of day 20, 5:30 in the morning, wild camping last night. Already had my little first adventure here, trying to get across this. Boots all shit up, slipping down there, so literally had to throw my juice to the other side and then commit. I don't know if you can see the sky there in the let me see if I can zip it. Looks beautiful, eh? Let's say it's oop. So the sun's just poking through the sky. So yeah, outside of the comfort zone last night, all went well with the wild camping. Survived the bunnies. In fact, I didn't even see any bunny rabbits, to be honest. This morning when I woke up, I could hear like young people's voices and a dog, and that was like about 4 o'clock in the morning. So my brain was like working overtime, thinking I'd already started packing up because I thought I'd want to see the sunrise. But I was thinking, are people walking a dog at 4 o'clock in the morning because it's a killer dog? You know, and your head starts going a bit overthinking things, and then it just reminds me of fear, and it is the killer of dreams, and like 99% of the stuff that you think about never ever happens anyway. So, you know, if you're thinking of doing that thing, whatever it is, you know, changing your job, going on an adventure, holiday, changing your house, ending that shitty relationship, changing your diet, whatever it is, you know, fear, don't let fear stop you, because 99% of it's all in your head. So last night was really good, despite me only having 4 hours of sleep. Again, just pushed outside of my comfort zone, become a little bit stronger. The next time would be so much easier. And I have already obviously done 2 wild camps whilst I've been on this adventure, which is obviously the first time I've ever done it. But I just think because I'd walked through Skegness, it's quite a big town. It's Friday night and there was a lot of people like drinking, being a bit leery, and you know, that was playing on my mind a little bit. It's a seaside resort, even though I'm, you know, probably had half a mile out of town or something. You just don't know whether, you know, there's going to be like a bunch of people, because there's quite a smell of drugs as well in some places. I'm just thinking, well, you just don't know, you know, it might be just a bunch of people just being dicks. So that was playing on my mind. So a bit of a crappy night's sleep. So I only had about 4 hours sleep. Body battery's a bit low. HRV is definitely going down. Again, I need to talk about this HRV being the best way to test the strength of your immune system, and it's been slowly dropping since I've been on this trip, because my sleep has been really poor, plus my nutrition has been really poor as well. So those are the 2 things that I really need to address. And also I am addressing the food thing, so that's good, that's working out well. But yeah, the sleep, I need to get better on that as well. So you just got to be careful with stuff like this when you're videoing, because it'd be very easy just to drop down this little trench. So I need to get over this little trench. But yeah, start of day 20. Got my juicy smoothie thing, and we're off towards Gibraltar Point. Not sure how far we're going to get today, but it's going to be a wild camp again. Definitely need another battery pack. I'm going to be doing more wild camping. but my plan is to be out of Lincolnshire by the close of Monday, so it's about 60 miles to cover, so let's get going. Not long found my way up to the beach path, and seems to be some issues here with the erosion again, so I'll just spin the camera around so you can see. So even the dunes are just being washed away, and all the creeks and stuff like that are all changing direction. But this is a little bit crazy, this structure here. If I can zoom in a bit better. It's like really hard to tell what it is, but it's saying on this sign down here that it's fragile World War II structure. So I'm not exactly sure what it is. Maybe some sort of, I don't know, sea defences or something. It looks like just a lot of scaffolding tube, rusted scaffolding tube to me. But a cracking view from here. So yet again, the path has come to an end. So I'm going to try and find my way back over here somewhere. There looks to be some sort of remnants of a path on the Google satellite. There is a car park on the side of those trees, so it's just a case of trying to get to them. Then once I get to the car park, hopefully there will be a coastal path sign, and then we can get going properly. At the lookout point now on Gibraltar Point, so I'll spin the lens around so you can have a 360. Pretty stunning, right? Very much different to the sights of Skegness. So I just had a lovely chat with some guys from the National Trust. They're doing some bird watching and bird counting, and luckily I came across those guys because the path that I was about to walk on takes me to a place where there's a bridge, where there is going to be a bridge. It's currently a bridge, but it's currently broken, and it's all kind of like fenced off and secured off and stuff like that. And they're building another one, which is going to cost 800 grand. 800 grand for a footbridge. Bonkers, right? And he's saying that that is the most expensive part of the coastal path today. That's where the biggest part of the budget is going to go. But if I had not found this guy and got speaking to him, I'd have never found that out. And again, I'd have been stuck in the bloody middle of nowhere. So I'm now having to walk back on myself onto a road to go and walk all the way around to get on this particular bridge, to walk on the other side of what is the like a bit of an estuary, and then walk all the way back down to the coast. And he says once I'm back down onto the coast, then it should be straightforward. But once again, like, I'm very, very grateful for this gentleman here to advise me, but it would have been an absolute nightmare had I not found that information out, because there's literally nothing around here. So please, coastal path people, put some signs out to say, like, this is where the route ends, or the route ends in 2 miles, or you need to follow this, or whatever, because there's nothing on the website, there's nothing on any of the signs, and it's downright frustrating. Now walking down the side of this farmer's field towards, hopefully, where I can cross this like mini estuary, river, brook thing. So one thing I need to stand corrected on. So these fields where I've been saying I've been covered in corn, I've realised now it's actually barley. and because I'm now walking through a field of corn, well, to the side of it, I'll show you. So yes, I stand corrected. But, I'll also give you. There's another pillar box there for the defences that we saw previously. So yeah, now I've got a long walk this way, then turn right, and then hopefully it brings me to something way something clough, and it looks like on the map I can cross there, so fingers crossed. I'm just really hoping that there is some way to cross this brook, stream, estuary, whatever you want to call it, after walking down here, because it's like really hard going. I'll just spin this round so you can see. So it's all this kind of like cut grass. It's really long grass. Ooh, there you go. So it's really like tiring to walk through, and there's like holes every now and again, so I'm a bit worried about twisting my ankle. But also spin it around again and just show you I am just surrounded by corn now. I really don't want to walk back. I really need that bridge to... But really am just in the middle of acres and acres of cornfield, and that's a brook there to the left of me, and I've seen a few deers and lots of hares chasing birds. Huge. Like, I know that obviously there's a story about the tortoise and the hare, but I didn't realise hares was actually that fast. They are rapid. So anyway, hopefully this bridge is there. So it's looking promising. A bit nervous because obviously I'm walking through these farmers' courtyards and stuff. Pretty sure it's all private land. And there's another one of these pillar boxes here, these sea defences, that was thankfully never used. But yep, it's looking hopeful. So hopefully we can get across them without them being chained off, or barbed wire, or explosives, or whatever lays in my path. You gotta laugh, right? It's just such an adventure, this. So I've just gone down there and come across another thing similar to that, so that's impassable. I really don't fancy walking all the way up there, because that's going to take me this round, like right over there, and then I've got to walk all the way back down here. But let me show you this. So there's supposed to be a path along the side here, like that, down this way. So I think I can see something over in the distance. So this is my thinking, look. So I'm going to pull this back. Oh, there we go. To walk along here, which doesn't look that bad on this, and then somehow get my way through all of that onto that banking there, and then I'm hoping that banking is similar to that. Adventures ahoy! My legs are freaking stung to bits. I'll just show you what. So just come from like down here through all these nettles, So that's where the bridge is, and this is where the path is supposed to be. But there's a big gap between that bridge and this. now I'm supposed to be able to walk on this all the way to the coastline. So 7.87, so that's, so far it's taken me 4.5 kilometers out of my way since I got directions from the car park at Gibraltar Point. Gonna be one of those days. I've just come across the footbridge that they said is going to be taken down, and they're going to build this brand new one, 800 grand for a bridge this size. I'll spin it around and show you. There you go. Like, the boards on it look pretty battered, to be fair. It just looks like sterling board. So it does look a bit dodgy. I can see that it's locked on the other side. The gate, if I can see, it's locked there, and then there's the fencing the guy was talking about there, so it's all padlocked off. So lucky I didn't come that way, but yeah, this is the bridge that made me walk so far 5.2 kilometers out of the way. So I've done 9.5 kilometers this morning, and more than half of that is because of a bloody bridge. Gotta keep smiling, right? So check this out. So this building you see here is the visitor centre, and when I got talking to the gentleman who gave me some advice as to that bridge being closed, it was literally somewhere in the centre of that screen, maybe, I don't know, a kilometre away from here. But this road here, I can get to it, there, that is actually the road I was walking up to have the detour when I was like walking up the side of the golf club. So you'll be able to see I've walked all the way up the side of those trees, right up the top there, past all that, and then see if I can get it in the distance. I'm sure that we can actually. Can you see those? That's it, that farm there. That's where I crossed. That's where I crossed the bridge. You can see how far it is. And there's a boat here that's taking the piss out of me today with its name. Have a look at this. Wasn't my fault. So that's 10.13, so that's just shy of 7 kilometres I've walked to be able to throw a stone nearly over this water to where I was, I don't know, what, nearly 2 hours ago. Anyway, the water is over here and the path is going that way. So the guy told me, and he's served me well so far, that there's a banking now walking all the way to Boston. Shit, they fell then. So now, stop videoing, watch when I'm putting my feet. Here I'm definitely getting some signs today. I was this huge detour, then I'm seeing hares, really fast hares in the cornfields, then I'm seeing that boat saying slow coach, calling me slow coach, and then this boat is called Challenge, and this morning certainly has been. So it's time to take the booties off, give my feet a little bit of airing, because we're 10k in now, so we're at 2k overdue, and then we're heading right over there. It's going to be a long walk on one of these grassy mounds. Looks very similar to the estuary kind of grass, wobbly, knobbly kind of thing, but hey ho, glad to be on the right path again. That's the main thing. So just a slight concern looking at the map. It's just so difficult to judge distances from the different apps and stuff like that. When the path just like follows the coastline, and sometimes, as previously, you have to take diversions. So I've only got 34% left in my battery. Got 34% left, roughly, about 30 something percent in my my battery pack. So safe bet to turn the phone off, I think, because I know where this path is going anyway. It's just going on and on and on and on. It's just going to follow the coastline and hopefully come across something. But I can't see anything on the map, like coffee shops, bars, pubs, villages, nothing for a long time. So let's get another 8k under the belt, switch the phone back on, and let's see if there's something nearby I can go and charge some stuff up. So I've just seen the first two people for the last 4.5 hours. First people I've seen, should I say, in the last 4.5 hours. So two lads who's walking from Boston to Skegness, so they're doing the coastal path but the opposite way to me. And it was good that I could follow them and show them that the bridge was closed and which way to go, and they're in for some brambles and some scratches. So if you two guys are watching this, I hope you got through that okay. And I've just come to the top of that mound, and the grass here is a lot longer than what it is on the one I've just been walking, so I'm going to head back down this path here and across there. So yet again, making a bit of a U-turn, adding an extra few meters to an already long day. This is the most exciting thing I've seen since, well, pretty much today really, other than the birds on the beach this morning, and the deers and obviously the hares, but I'll spin this around for you. Cabbage harvesting. So here's all the cabbages, and then you've got these tractors here. There's lots of them. All harvesting these cabbages, and I think these fields here are all cabbages as well. So definitely makes a difference between a change, should I say, from barley and corn to cabbages. But this path, look, it just goes on and on and on. It's just the same. The view's the same. The path is the same. But at least we have cabbages. So what I can make out is these yellow cups scoop the cabbages out of the ground, and then they pass into the trailer, and then there's people in the back of the trailer that choose whether they're good enough and they go in boxes or whether they get chucked on the side. So steady enough, but there's a guy in the back of this one here. He's just picking them out of the other scoops. There you go. And then chuck them in the baskets. So now you know how cabbages are picked on a grand scale. So this is definitely the coolest thing that we've seen today. So I'll just spin this round. So this is called the tower at Wainfleet. So it's an ex-RAF tower, and I've just googled it, and now it's a glamping spot. So you can the plane's all kitted out so you can sleep in there. I don't know what the helicopter's like, I haven't seen a photo of that, but yeah, it's a very cool glamping spot. Clearly you've got a fantastic view all around here. Must be fed maybe by those solar panels. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool, eh? Staying in a plane overnight. I'll just give you another view of it. It's pretty cool. if you actually see the box on the side, you need to YouTube Yorkshire Airways, Yorkshire Airways, and if you if you see the plane, it's got like a thing stuck on the side of it like that, like a cabin stuck on the side of it, and it's like an outside toilet, but it's stuck on the side of the plane. Yeah, it's a Yorkshire thing. Check it out. So anyway, I've checked it out, and we are about 8 miles from the nearest pub. So in that direction, so for me to be able to charge my stuff before another wild camp tonight. So I'm trying to save my battery, so unless something exciting happens between now and then, could be a big gap. Just listening to an audio book, Napoleon Hill's 3 Feet from Gold. Absolutely excellent book, and it's just having a bit of a chapter about not quitting, and I've just made a bit of a journal post to myself because this path is just monotonous and it's got to me a little bit again, and your head starts, I don't know, you start doing a lot of self-talk when the path's monotonous. It's just a bit brain dead, and I was just looking at this path and just thinking, it's all perfect really. It's such a long monotonous path, but it's just like starting anything new, like this challenge, like the social media thing, like try to understand it. Some days just thinking I'm actually getting anywhere with anything, like it doesn't feel like it some days, and then the other days, you'll get messages, or you'll cover a lot of miles, everything will go sweet, or up and down, good and bad. But this is a good analogy, this path here really, and the fact that I'm looking at it, and it's just going on and on and on and on and on and on. And I've already walked like this. It just looks exactly the same, and that's sometimes what life's like when you get up in the morning. You keep plugging away at it and things don't look to change, but some things just take time. You've got to be consistent, you've got to build the foundations. So it's just a little reminder to myself, and maybe somebody who's watching this video, if you feel like you're not getting anywhere or things aren't worth it, just stick at it. These moments too will pass. Just listening to this audio book, and when Greg mentions Mia, she's obviously his girlfriend, his fiancée in the book, and they've had some challenges and then they got back together. It's just triggered like a real emotional response, and first part of me is thinking, this is just somebody amazing coming in my life. Truly is, somebody is amazing coming in my life, or reappearing in my life. Something's happening, and then the brain takes over and basically says that no, it's because you're lonely. So let's see. I prefer to believe in the first bit. Do you ever get the feeling you're being watched? I've never seen so many cows staring at me before at one place. Yeah, but thinking, what the hell's he doing out here? He must have been walking for bloody 20 kilometres on that road path. I have come off the seawall pass, showing this is the fastest route to the pub. Still 50 minutes, still like 2.5 miles up to the little village here, but my phone is definitely on its arse, and I've got no reserves left in my battery pack, so needs must, and it'd be great to get a cold drink, top up the water bowls and get some food. But this is the view from here, pretty much the same as it has been all along really. A few more trees, but this is just like really overgrown, so all thistles. Can't bloody see any elves in it. All thistles, and it's a very long path, so legs are already battered with the nettles and the thistles, but need to get to the pub, get the stuff charged, get some drinks, get some food, and then we've got to work out where we're going to stay this evening. This is just typical. So I'll spin this round, but there's some cows in the field stood right on the path which I'm supposed to be walking on, and normally I wouldn't be too bothered about cows in field, but the fact that I actually stood on the path, and the fact that the previous field had a bull in it with calves, and I've already been warned by a farmer that it's not wise to go into a field that's got a bull calves. And so yeah, I've got all these, can you see these? Up here on, they're actually on the path, and there is the gate just on the top there that I need to walk through. So I'm definitely not going to risk going and challenging with the cows and the bull. So back along here to where that sign is, and then back along that way. It says there's another path on the map, and there doesn't look to be any cattle over there, so find my way back through this again. So ready for a Guinness Zero. They better have it when I get in there, and a zero fruity cider. I'm gonna have a treat to one of those as well with loads of ice. Definitely need it today. And I just want to see if I can capture these deers playing in the field. I think they're too far away now. See them? Pretty cool, eh? Yay, caught them. Thought it'd be too far away, but I think I've got them on camera. So I just got up onto the main road from the coastal path. So it's taken me an hour to get up to where the pub is, so I could charge my stuff, but more importantly, get some water and get some fluids on board. It's super dehydrated. And here we are on a freaking main road with oh, there is a tiny path, so I thought there wasn't going to be any path then for a second, but feeling battered. So I was planning to make a video last night at the end of day 20, but in all honesty I was just battered by the time I got into this very different, I won't even say it's a hotel room really, but this place in Boston, and I was just shattered, disheartened, I think, and suffering with exhaustion. It was 22 miles. It was a long day. As I mentioned, there was no water again, so it was less than a litre of water I drank by the time I got to the pub to recharge the kit. And walking 22 miles on like half a litre of water consistently, it's like there hasn't been enough water consistently throughout this trip. It's really taken its toll. So yes, I've managed to stack up with the food and stuff now, which is great. But if you've not got the water, if you're not hydrated, then like you start suffering with headaches, and I think that's a lot of it where the self-doubt and the negative thoughts are coming from, because the energy is just so low, not hydrated. Now looking at my skin is just like so dry, and I started to feel like I wasn't well, and then I started to think, this isn't worth my health. I said I'd jack this in for one of two reasons. One, if I just wasn't truly enjoying it, like it was just horrendous, I was getting every single day and I was hating it, then that'd be a reason. And the second one was my health. If my health started to suffer, and it has been suffering since the end of the first week, I think, which obviously I've covered in the YouTube videos. But when I got to Hull, obviously I needed that break with boots and stuff like that, so my feet was completely battered, but I thought they would adapt with the extra weight, which the new boots made a difference. But I've now got a little blister on top of the old blister that was there. So clearly the boots are ill-fitted. There's something not right there. I've never had a problem before with the Scarpa boots, so I can only put it down to the sheer weight that's on it and the uneven ground. It's just too much pressure on my feet day in, day out in a new set of boots, and maybe should have that cushioning in, but I don't know. I digress. But just disheartened because I don't quit anything, but I just, as resourceful as I am, I just can't see how you could possibly walk the coastal path unsupported when there's no water or amenities. So there's nowhere to stay, there's nowhere to get water, there's nowhere to top up with food. So yeah, every 3 days or so you can go into a town, you can go to a supermarket, and which is close to the town, get a load of food, and you could be carrying an extra couple of kilos in your bag. But you just can't physically carry an extra like 3 kilos of like water. It's just not feasible, along with a tent and all the rest of the stuff. So this trip was supposed to be about proving living on a plant-based diet, intermittent fasting, checking all the data, checking all the stats, and showing like living like a natural, like living natural life and eating natural food is good for your health. But what it's actually shown is the detriment of not looking after yourself. So I haven't been able to eat anywhere close to the food that I was eating, or the amount of it, not been able to hydrate, not been able to have the juices, not been able to have the cold showers, definitely not been able to have good sleep at all. So it's actually proven, if anything, that what I was doing was working, and putting myself under a lot of stress and not having those things in place has like caused me to feel ill and exhausted. So last night, I think this was a tipping point. Last night I woke up and I was sweating again. Even the pillow was like wet with sweat. And I think I've covered before, I've suffered with exhaustion when I was 20, and I think that's like a sign of exhaustion. Your body's just like trying to get rid of all the toxins and all the crap, and I don't know, it's not good. I'm suffering with exhaustion. I'll admit it, I'm suffering with exhaustion. So this can't continue the way it's continuing. So I've decided to give myself a couple of days, regroup, and sit down and have a rethink about what I'm going to do. Yeah, and then just come back to, as you can see probably on the video, that I'm just disheartened by it. I really did want to like walk the whole coastal path unsupported, and I was enjoying the challenge and the elements, and even the fact that a lot of the paths and stuff were missing, and it was very challenging mentally. I was enjoying that aspect, but I won't at all allow my health to suffer, because now it's started to affect me mentally and emotionally as well. Like it's taken me a long time to actually love myself and appreciate myself, and I am willing to disrespect my body after I've come through such a long way to get, well, where I was looking after myself. So yeah, I have to rethink this one.